I've got my watch list on there and I want to go through it with you.
I don't know what you're going to do, mate.
Balls.
Ugh.
Watch list. Here we go.
Oh, all right then.
Oh, too right. There's a new Martin Scorsese movie with Al Pacino and Robert De Niro.
He's still alive?
All of them? Any of them?
Any of them.
Yeah. Still working together.
Righty-roo.
Yeah, it's a true story about it's called The Irishman. I don't know.
Oh! I want to see The Danish Girl. Not even necessarily for an honorable mention or something, just because I want to see it, because I think it's an important movie to see.
I'm going to put that on my list.
Yeah. It's about the first ever transgender surgery and stuff. I think it's important.
I think Eddie Redmayne won an Oscar for that. No, Alicia Vikander did.
Can I say something, like, slightly offensive?
Yeah, she's in there.
I'd never seen him in anything before. I did not know that he was a man.
He's got feminine facial features.
He really does.
He's a lot older than I thought he was.
And he looks
I thought he was
young.
like, I don't know, late 20s, 30, but he's getting close to 40.
They made him up really well, and he played it very well, based on what I have seen of it. And trailers and things. And I'd really quite like to watch that one. I think it's an important one.
I've never seen Spotlight.
You gotta see Spotlight.
I don't even know if that's in the top 250. You think that would be worth? No, it is. It is.
It's an interesting watch. It's just telling the story. It's very factual of what happened. It's a biopic, basically. It's not. It's not
just a true story.
Yeah.
What about The English Patient?
I don't know what that's about.
It's from 1996. It's a romantic adultery war movie. Goes for 3 hours.
Oh, God.
But everyone loved it in 96.
Righty,
It was Titanic the year before Titanic. It got Best Picture and won a bunch of awards. It's Ralph Fiennes. Guy played Voldemort. He was in Quiz Show and Schindler's List. The Descendants. I've heard that's very good. Have you seen that?
Is that the one with George Clooney?
Yeah.
It is quite good. It's nothing special, but it is quite good.
Boogie Nights.
I don't know what that is.
These are on my watch list, so I haven't seen them, but I've heard nothing but good things about every one of these, so therefore it's on my list.
Radio.
It's Paul Thomas Anderson. From what I've heard, it's Mark Wahlberg as a porn star.
Oh, God.
In the 70s. And this movie came out in 97.
I was going to say, he'd be hot. I'm down.
He would be, yeah, in that time. It's rated R, so I'm guessing it's pretty graphic. Maybe you see a bit of Wahlberg dong.
Oh, God. Have you seen Magic Mike?
No.
I think we should watch Magic Mike and Magic Mike XXL because they're kind of a pop culture phenomenon now, and they weren't that bad.
I've heard the first one's very good.
It is
the second
quite good.
one's it's alright.
The second one was warranted the same way that like the other
sequel.
50 Shades of Grey was warranted. It's just because more women wanted to see Channing Tatum mostly naked, and trust me, it is well worth the watch.
Is Channing Tatum mostly naked in both of them?
Yeah.
Is he the only person who returned for the second one?
Nope.
No?
Most of the
It's just
cast.
McConaughey's not in it.
McConaughey and the other main character.
Okay.
The kid. I think we should watch them. Like, do I like those movies? Yeah, I like those movies. And if I need to see some hot guy, like, that's a one I watch. Yeah, they're not bad.
See, if I said that about some hot chicks in a movie...
Margot Robbie.
Yeah, but in what, like Wolf of Wall Street or something? See, I don't watch Wolf of Wall Street for that. I mean, it's a bonus, but if I said that, everyone would be like...
Yeah, but if you had a chance to see Margot Robbie in a stripper movie, you would enjoy that, would you not? Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's the sole reason. Okay, if it was a shit movie. But Magic Mike's not a shit movie. It's
really interesting because, like, from a purely analytical perspective, it's kind of indie feeling.
Yeah,
like,
okay.
It's
who
I don't know who produced it, but the way they produced it and the way they shot it was a little bit different than typical box office movies.
Maybe
which
that's
made
why it was a bit of a hit.
It was, because it was a little bit different. It had an interesting soundtrack. It was the scenes the way they cut it and stuff, it was a little bit different, and it made it really quite interesting. And it almost just feels like you're just peeking into what's happening. It doesn't feel like they're portraying a story. It feels like you just rock up and you kind of see what happens, and that's kind of why it's nice.
Okay.
I think we should watch them. Maybe that could be an honorable mention.
I would like to watch it at least once to make that judgment call.
Yes. No, and I agree that you should.
I like to watch movies just that are pop culture. Even if I know the sequel is not as good as the first, I'll still watch it to get my own opinion on that.
And I think this one
qualifies.
Yeah, as much as it's like a, ooh, guys, male strippers, you know,
like...
it's
good more than that. I heard it's more than that.
It is more than that.
Well, good. We'll watch it then.
That's like... Is that the main attraction? Hell yeah. But there's more to it.
As long as there's more to it, that's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mind looking at Channing Tatum every now and then, you know.
Brenton.
Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead.
What is that about?
1990, right? Picture this.
I feel like I've heard this name.
Probably. I might have mentioned it before. It's a young Gary Oldman.
I don't know who that is.
You don't know who that is?
No. Tell me who he played.
Sirius Black in Harry Potter.
Oh, radio.
That's
okay.
like number one go-to.
Yeah.
Excellent actor. He's
fantastic.
He was the Commissioner Gordon in the Dark Knight.
Yeah, no,
movies.
I know who he is now. I just didn't know what
you couldn't put a picture to it.
I know lots of faces.
I
read
read something on Instagram yesterday. It's like, can you imagine, right? You go to work every day. You finish work, you go to the gym, you go to the shops, you're getting some groceries, and then someone all of a sudden just yells, "Cut!" And it turns out you were Gary Oldman all along. That's how good of an actor he is. And I chuckled to myself. I thought it was so stupid. Like,
I don't get it.
He's such a good actor that you could be Gary Oldman right now and you wouldn't even know.
Oh.
It was funny. I chuckled to myself. He is a very good actor. He's in that Leon the Professional. And he doesn't even look like him. He's very good in like everything he does, honestly.
Everything I've ever seen him in.
I think he won an Oscar last year. Anyway, 1990 Gary Oldman. Tim Roth.
Oh, I love Tim Roth.
They're playing off each other. I think it's a comedy, like a black comedy. I haven't seen it.
Just pause for a sec. Have you seen Lie to Me?
Parts of it.
Can we watch that together? I fucking love that show.
I think there's only like 3 seasons, so it'd be easy to go through them.
It's actually very good.
We should watch Hateful Eight, because I quite like his character in that.
He's so good. He's
not in enough.
No! Well, he's so funny, Brenton. Yeah. And in this, because he brings in the British humor, like he's so very British. You know what I mean?
He's got good comedic timing.
He does, and he's just a sarcastic asshole, and I love it. And Lie to Me is good because I'm studying psychology, it brings in a lot of interesting concepts that are relevant to me.
We gotta watch this movie, because let me just read this up for you, right?
Yeah.
2 minor characters from the play Hamlet stumble around unaware of their scripted lives and unable to deviate from them. Gary Oldman, Tim Roth, 1990, comedy.
Oh my god, that sounds amazing!
So we gotta do that.
I mean, there's probably some dramatic irony, but I think it's gonna be worth it, because it's
rated
so
PG,
funny.
got 7.5. It sounds pretty good.
I fucking love Tim Roth.
Perks of Being a Wallflower. Have you ever seen that one?
No, and I don't really know what it's about.
I mean, neither. It's a coming-of-age story.
When did they make that?
2012.
Okay, see, because I remember that being
I remember it being good.
I remember that being a book in school.
Yes, the book is very good.
And I remember...
If you've read the book, you probably wouldn't like the movie, but if you haven't read the book, you'll love the movie.
Okay, I haven't read the book. I just remember seeing it on the shelf in the school library.
That could be a more recent one.
I don't know what it's about.
It's just a teenage movie, romance. It's a feel-good movie. You kind of be like, yeah, that's what it was like.
What are those? There's been a couple movies lately about, like, terminally ill teenagers that I kind of want to see. There's that new one with Cole Sprouse in it, and he's yummy to look at, too, so we could watch that. Is
it like a series or just like a genre?
It's a movie.
You said some movies.
It's a genre. There's just been a couple of them where it's like, I'm dying, or she's dying, or we're both dying, but we're in love, and we're like 17, so we're just, what the hell, we're gonna give it a crack. You know what I mean?
The Lovely Bones?
Maybe.
I don't know if that's
I don't know.
What it's about.
There's been a couple, though, where it's like, It's like, didn't I just see a trailer with someone with, like, a breathing tube? Because I feel like I've seen this before.
That Thing You Do. Now, I don't think that should be an honorable mention, but it's a comedy from 1996, directed by Tom Hanks. I've heard it's good, but I haven't seen it. So.
I have no idea. I was just thinking, I finally
City of God's on my list.
Watched 10 Things I Hate About You.
Really?
On the plane at one way or the other in the last 6 months. What did you think about that? I mean, I'm biased because I think
it's fine.
Heath Ledger is like one of the finest specimens to ever walk the earth.
Not in that movie though. He's got a dirty like hairstyle.
He's still Heath Ledger.
I suppose.
I mean, I like him better as a blonde, but that's just me.
You're gonna love Brokeback Mountain. Yeah. Because you got Jake Gyllenhaal in there as well. See, I've got Anne Hathaway and Michelle Williams to look at. And they both get their tops up, so... Hey, all four of them do. Look at us.
I'm just curious though, like, what did you think? Because
it was fine for the like. It just seems like a very typical high school movie at the time. That's pretty funny and has some good moments.
Because that was 2000, right?
It was pretty around there.
I technically class that as the 90s because
it was very 90s feeling. It kind of feels like it gives you vibes of like American Pie without the dirtiness.
Well, and the thing is, so I was born in 95. I don't. Like, I find it weird because you remember the 90s and I...
Quite a bit of it.
Yeah, which is weird. And I don't, and I never watched a lot of that stuff, but I find myself, I really like some of those 90s teenage movies because stuff like that's not really made anymore, where it's specifically geared to, like, you're 16 and this is for you. You know what I mean? I don't feel like those are made a whole lot anymore, or not in the same way. Not
in the same way.
Yeah, and I kind of liked... those ones from the 90s because they were very PG-13. You know what I mean?
Well, and you go like 10 years before that, they were like very R, but rated like aimed towards teenagers because they were very raunchy. Like,
well, but that's kind of what I liked about it because it's like it's not too much and it's not too adult, but it's got the shit that you want to be.
See, I would put Mean Girls into that category as well, which was
the beginning of the end, or maybe even the end of that.
Yes, okay, you know? I would say that was one of the last ones because then after that you start getting things like Superbad. You know, it's just like kind of
because
it's a different era of comedy.
Yeah, and it's not there anymore. It's no longer relatable the same way because what they started to do.
Superbad's pretty relatable. That was the point of the movie.
Easy A kind of fell into that too.
Yeah, but that's rare.
That's what I mean. Like,
it is rare, yeah. That came out in 2010, which is a little bit further, like 10 years after the 90s ended, but it reaches that feeling.
Well, because, like I said, it was geared towards teenagers. This was meant to be for you. Yeah. You know what I mean? And
That movie's ridiculous, but I love it.
Easy A. I really liked it too. I feel like I was a late bloomer. And so that's why I kind of like these, is because it's like, even though I'm kind of past the age when it was meant to be geared to me, I'm still relating to it. So, I don't know. I like those 90s teenage movies. And that's why I liked 10 Things I Hate About You. And I like, I didn't like 16 Candles. I thought that was stupid. There's some of them.
See, that's a classic, though, but I haven't seen it.
It's funny because I like the 90s teenage movies, but I don't like the 80s teenage movies.
Yeah.
They were shit. It's like, there was no story here.
And yet, in Easy A, she's like, why can't my life be like an 80s teenage movie?
Yeah. What was that one where she works in a bookstore?
It's not 16 Candles? Is it from the 80s?
Yeah. It might be 16 Candles.
Breakfast Club?
Maybe.
I haven't seen these.
It's got what's his name from 2.5 Men in it. Not Charlie Sheen, the other one.
Oh. Are you thinking of Matthew Broderick? Because the guy from 2.5 Men looks like Matthew Broderick.
No, it was definitely the guy from 2.5 Men.
Really?
Yeah.
Speaking of Matthew Broderick, he was in Ferris Bueller's Day Off in the 80s, which is very 80s.
Yeah, feeling. I like that one. I like Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
yeah.
It wasn't him. I know who you're talking about, and it wasn't him. Also, Ashton Kutcher in 2.5 Men, fuck off. So stupid.
Just slip that in there.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Heat. That's on my list.
I don't know what that's about.
That's another Al
John
Pacino.
Cryer. Man, he aged poorly. Holy shit.
Look at... Oh, I think he aged better than Charlie Sheen in that picture.
Charlie Sheen still has hair.
But yeah, he pulls it off though. Let me look at him.
No, he doesn't. Just go bald, man.
I kind of think that's a better picture than that one.
I don't. I want to know... Sorry, I just really want to know what that movie was I'm saying. Oh, there it is. Pretty in Pink. Yeah. I hated that movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay,
that's
another classic one. Heat is another Robert De Niro, Al Pacino crime movie.
Ooh, I reckon I'd love that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Have you seen many? Because they've collaborated a lot.
I love De Niro. I even like...
See, new De Niro is not the same as 90s backwards De Niro. Because he's gone a bit off the rails with his old career. He seems to get bored and he just takes whatever jobs are offered to him.
Now?
Yeah, which was why I'm glad to see him up with Scorsese and Pacino again in The Irishman.
Well, and that... Okay, so that's the thing is that I like him in the not serious movies. Like, I even liked him in Meet the Fockers.
Dirty Grandpa.
I loved him in Dirty Grandpa. Have you seen that? That was so funny.
It's so stupid.
It was stupid, but
I saw it on a plane.
I liked his acting in it. I thought it was funny.
Okay.
I totally agree with you. This
You're
totally
like the target
dumb.
audience for this.
I agree with you that it's totally dumb, but I still liked it because I'm just like, he's old. He's not supposed to say shit like that. That's why it was funny.
That's the gimmick.
I know. That's why
you're
it was funny. Oh, whatever. Point is, if I like him in shitty movies like that, I reckon I'd really like him in serious movies.
I've heard Heat is very good. Have you not seen him in a serious movie, apart from Godfather 2?
Does Jackie Brown count?
No. He's not really stretching his
If I
rings
told
there.
you the first movies I saw some of these serious actors in, you'd be ashamed
I
of
saw
me.
him in Meet the Fockers was definitely the first time.
That was the
I
first
ever
time
saw
I
him.
ever saw him, so I feel less bad now.
Yeah.
Meet the Parents was a terrible movie, by the way.
Fockers or Parents?
Parents.
I liked Fockers better.
Yeah,
for
because
some
it was
reason.
funny.
I do like Ben Stiller's parents in that. I love Dustin Hoffman in it.
I want to be Ross Fokker.
I love their house too. I just I want to live there.
I want to be Ross Fokker. I'm going to be Ross Fokker.
So Heat's on the list.
She's my spirit animal. Ross Fokker is my spirit animal. Oh, I'm so happy about that.
Wow.
You're like, I can't believe I'm going to marry you.
Dazed and Confused.
What's that about?
I've heard that's very good. That's a coming of age movie from 93.
Also, can I just add in
with a very young Matthew McConaughey.
Yummy.
He was really thin and geeky looking.
Yeah. I hate that you hate Fool's Gold because he was so delicious in that.
Be that as it may, it's a stupid movie.
That's one of the ones where I don't mind chucking it on a Sunday just for something to watch or something to play in the background. Yeah. Just throwing it in there.
Princess Bride.
We gotta watch that.
It's on the list.
Just because
it looks so stupid. Anyway, what are you gonna say?
Okay, Princess Bride. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say what I was gonna say before. It's one of those that you have to watch it because it was a pop phenomenon. It was a pop culture phenomenon when it came out. Stupid. It's poorly made.
It's poorly made?
But it's
Rob Ryan.
But it's not terribly made, but it's not like high budget. Maybe it was for the time, I don't fucking know. But the point is, it was a cult classic, and that's why we've got to watch it. It's not bad.
That's fine. No, it's on the top 250.
The story is quite good, I think. Okay. Going back to coming-of-age movies, I've never seen the American Pie movies. I feel like I gotta see those.
At least, I think the first two were good.
Well, and the thing is, too...
Then it's like 90s as fuck, that first one.
I hated how fucking awkward I was as a teenager.
Kid, yeah.
Just because, like...
Well, the first one sort of encompasses that, because they're all trying to get laid. And it's just like these weird hijinks.
But the thing is, like, I felt like that, and I wanted to see shit like that, but I didn't have any friends, so I couldn't go watch movies. Like, the first movie where I was like, I feel like I am embodying what what life I'm supposed to be living right now when me and my friend went together to see 21 Jump Street. That was like the first one like that with dirty jokes and shit in it that I'd ever seen. And I was like, why haven't I been doing this for like the last 3 years? Because I was like 16 by that point, right?
That's a high school comedy that is more modern and it doesn't feel like those old ones. It is good, but like you said, they are getting away from that older feel.
Yeah.
What were we talking about? You said
American Pie.
You hadn't seen the American Pie movies, right? I think there's 7 or 8 of them.
Well, I lied. I saw one of them. I saw one of the college ones with Pasna on the bus when we were going through Europe.
The whole thing?
Yeah, we watched the whole thing on her phone because she had it downloaded. And it was funny. And it was gross.
Was it the Naked Mile? Were they running a lot naked?
There was like college games and Russian roulette with fermented horse semen.
Ugh. It could have been any one of those like dirty frat movies.
And see, like...
Old school beer
was
pong,
it a waste of
trip.
time? Yeah. Was it funny? Yeah. Also, have you seen Eurotrip? I liked Eurotrip.
Years ago. I liked it. Oh. I thought you meant Road Trip. Road Trip I saw once years ago. Don't remember a thing about it.
I don't know what
Eurotrip I actually really like. Eurotrip.
And it again...
like 2 days ago, I watched that whole scene where Matt Damon's in there. I fucking... cracked myself up laughing alone in my office just at that scene.
Do you know why he was in it?
Because he was doing the Bourne movies or Ocean's movies or something.
He was doing the Bourne movies. They needed someone to do that scene. They were filming in Prague because
he does the best everywhere
cameos. Else in Europe. Yeah, and he was the only person who was around and available. Hilarious. Yeah.
I watched the whole thing. Like there was an extended where they played the whole song. And they don't show the whole song in the movie, but I just think it's hilarious. Just the look on his face, and they start making out on the stage.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's Matt fucking Damon, Oscar winner.
Yeah.
He has some very good cameos, because he's got one in... he sort of pops up randomly in a lot of movies. Like Interstellar, I wasn't expecting him in that. It's not a cameo, but he was in Thor. Like, he's just he's randomly in the third Thor, the third one.
Okay.
It's just like, what
are you doing
was
here?
Was that fucking Matt Damon? What the fuck? And there's the third Hemsworth brother.
Oh, I have no idea.
Is it Ryan Hemsworth?
I have no idea.
Anyway, there's 3 brothers and they're all actors.
I barely knew there were 2.
Whatever.
Oh, whatever. Anyways, what about him? He pops up and does cameos too.
He's also in the scene that Matt Damon's in with Sam Neill from like Jurassic Park.
Oh. Yeah,
it's the director has pull. He's a pretty funny movie.
Anyways, I like a certain subset of those 90s movies because they have like a really like easygoing vibe to them. Like this is something that I can just
I think Dazed and Confused would be good because I hear it's very good. Yeah.
Isn't it interesting how everything has a really specific flavor? And I think the 90s is actually one of my favorites.
For some reason,
not for rom-coms and stuff, but for just like
films.
funny coming of age films.
Okay.
Yeah.
There was like I've said it before, from 97 to like 2003, it had a very distinct feel.
Yeah.
That wasn't the 90s, it wasn't the noughties.
Do you know what it was? Do you know what I equate that with? Is like Avril Lavigne and Simple Plan punk music. Yeah. That's what I equate it with.
Yeah, punk music.
Yeah.
But you get these artists that went out of that period, but you can look back at their early works, like the first album of Linkin Park is very much like that.
Yeah.
And they got that hairstyle.
Yeah.
The first album of Pink, that's like...
Yep. Well, actually, it was their second one, because their first one was R&B Soul.
But even that itself, that one is very much like it as well.
That one was so 90s.
You look at like Britney Spears and Backstreet Boys, they're like around the late 90s as well, and they have that feel. For some reason, I think it's a nostalgia effect. I quite like that feeling, because if you watch a movie from 2001, you know it's from 2001.
Well, if you hear music from 2001, you know it's from 2001.
That's what American Pie is. It's bathed in all that feeling. It had its own hairstyle and graphic style, and you could just tell by looking at a movie poster.
I remember, it's so funny because that feeling brings me back to, because the only place, I'm so surprised I have such a good recollection of what that flavor is because the only time I ever heard any of that stuff was on the school bus in like grade 1 and 2. Like, I was little, and I remember that shit. You know what I mean? It
definitely had a distinct feel.
Yeah.
There were trends that you're just like, what the fuck?
Do you know what? That music reminds me of you for some reason because you listen to a lot of it. Like,
yeah,
like whenever I hear that
old Blink 182,
yeah,
41. I don't. Yeah.
Whenever I
like
hear
Linkin
that,
Park.
I just think of you. I don't know why.
I don't listen to a lot of it now, but I could imagine. I can see why you say that.
Well, when you first came to visit me, and you made the road trip playlist,
right?
It was a lot of that kind of stuff.
Was it?
Yeah, and that's why I remember too. Do you remember when we were?
Because they're songs that I can sing along with.
Yeah,
because I've heard them so many times.
And
so
you're
when
so
I was on the road,
funny.
When I was on a road trip.
I love when you sing along to stuff. You're so silly.
Get real into it.
Yeah.
So there's The Informant from 2009. Speaking of Matt Damon.
What's that about?
And that's the director from the Ocean's movies.
I like the Ocean's movies. You hate the Ocean's movies.
I think he's playing. Well, they're okay.
Okay.
I think he's playing like a FBI agent who like goes undercover, but he's like so awkward. I think it's meant to be a comedy. I hear it's very good.
Mm. Okay. The Grand Budapest Hotel. What is that genre? Because I do not like it. I don't get it.
French art style.
Yeah, because it's very distinct and there's a lot of things with that flavor. Like, do you know what else I put in with that? The first one I ever saw that was like that was fucking Moonrise Kingdom. And I was like, what is this shit?
You know why I knew you would say that? Because Wes Anderson directed both of them. He has his own feeling. We watched Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Same shit.
Yes. He has his own style.
It's
that's different. He uses color and symmetry more different than anyone else.
But it's even the scripting is different, and
I think it's quite an accomplishment for him to make his own feeling in a world like today.
Yeah.
Which I quite like. His stuff is sort of hit and miss for me. I love Moonrise Kingdom. We should watch his first movie. It's like Rushmore. No. See, Rushmore was very good. Bottle Rocket was shit. And then he did a few other ones. He did the Royal Tenenbaums. He has some really good ones. We gotta watch Isle of Dogs. I hear that's good as well.
Yeah, I remember you saying you wanted to see that. Not my favorite, just because
it's very artistic.
Well, and that's the thing is like, I need to know that going into it, because otherwise I'm like, what the fuck?
Okay, next time we watch a Wes Anderson film, I'll be like, this is a Wes Anderson film. And then you'll be like, okay, I know what I'm talking about.
Because honestly, Moonrise Kingdom was the first of anything like
artistic.
That I'd ever seen, and I'd never been exposed to it before.
That's sort of a coming age story as well.
I'll have to watch it again with that understanding, because I remember watching it and I'm like, what the fuck is it? Like, this isn't a movie. I don't know what this is, but it's not a movie.
I liked it.
Like, that's how I felt. I remember feeling that.
I haven't seen The Pianist. I haven't seen Citizen Kane.
Mm-mm.
I haven't seen North by Northwest. I got halfway through it and something came up and I didn't finish watching it. I found that actually quite funny.
I haven't seen anything.
I haven't seen Ben-Hur. I hear that's very good. They're all on the list, so we'll get through them. 12 Monkeys you've seen. I haven't.
I liked
The
12
Big
Monkeys.
Short. I still haven't seen that.
What was that other... Who directed 12 Monkeys?
Terry Gilliam.
Oh, that's right! That's why it was so good. He was one of the Pythons.
Yeah, he was one of the Pythons, yeah.
He did all the animations.
He's obscure as fuck. Like, you can see that in his animations.
12 Monkeys was really good. What was that Stanley Kubrick film that I watched with fucking Bruce Willis in it?
A Stanley Kubrick movie with Bruce Willis? Nothing?
Yeah, no, I watched it at Tim's house and it keeps going back in time.
You're not going to say Looper, are you?
No. Unless that was 12 Monkeys and I'm just confused.
It must have been 12 Monkeys.
Yeah, it was. Okay, never mind. Yeah, it's good.
Argo? I hear that's
I've heard good things.
I do like Ben Affleck. It got Best Picture. I hear it's overrated, though, considering that.
A whole bunch that came out, because that was 2012. Okay. I was going to say there's a whole bunch that came out in, like, end of 2015, early 2016, like, with The Big Short and stuff.
Bryan Cranston and John Goodman. That's a good acting cast.
In Argo.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's a bunch that came out in that, like, November 2015 to February 2016 that... Like, that was a good year. I know, but I saw The Big Short.
I always, to this day, get Spotlight and The Big Short mixed up, because they were both raved about...
It's like me, Tropic Thunder and Pineapple Express. Don't ask me why.
Doesn't make any sense to me.
I know. It's because they came out around the same time, or at least I think they did. I don't know.
Gangs of New York. I watched it once. I didn't like it. This is Martin Scorsese with Cameron Diaz, Leo DiCaprio, and Daniel Day-Lewis in a crime movie set in like the 1850s in New York.
What was
and
that?
I don't like it. I can't. I would like to give it one more try. If I still don't like it, then that's it.
I like those like 40s, 50s gangster movies.
This is set the same year as Good and the Bad and the Ugly, which is interesting because you said
1862. Oh,
that's what I said. I said the 1850s, not the 1950s.
Okay. Well, I like those 1940s and 50s.
Well, it's interesting because in the Good and the Bad and the Ugly discussion, you say there was more happening in the 1860s than the American Civil War.
Wild West, yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, there probably was in like New York. This is it.
Cool.
There's gangs of New York.
What's that one? Like, because I actually like those movies. Like, I liked Public Enemy with Johnny Depp.
Bad movie.
I actually saw that again when I was at home in November. Dad was watching it. I didn't mind that. There's this one with...
See, I don't think you mind it because you haven't seen a good alternative.
Fair enough. There was that new one with Ryan Gosling that came out a while ago. It was like Gangster Mob or Gangster
Squad, I think it was.
Yeah, I wanted to see that.
Which was completely forgotten the second it came out, so it mustn't have been good.
What was that other one with Jennifer Lawrence in it?
Was it a gangster movie?
Yeah. Oh, American Hustle. Yeah.
Right. Which again was also forgotten, but it had good performances in it. Because Bradley Cooper's in it and Amy Adams. Christian Bale's good.
Christian Bale's always good.
Bradley Cooper's got a perm.
Oh. Jesus. That ain't right. That ain't natural. Anyways, I'd like to see all three of those just because I remember seeing them on, like, upcoming credits when I was at the movie theater, and I was always like, I want to see that, and I never saw it. So those are three that I'd like to see. Because I don't mind that genre.
There's quite a lot of movies where I'm like, that looks good, and then you never hear about it again, and it's like 4 years later, and you're like, oh, what happened to that movie that I remember being excited about?
Yeah.
And then there's a reason you don't remember it.
Yeah.
Sicario. There's the two Sicario movies I hear is very good. It's based around the
that's got
Day of the Dead.
Has that got Penelope Cruz in it?
No.
What's that movie she's in?
God knows.
It's like Savannah or something.
Probably.
Sorry, it just starts with S. Whatever. This has got to be interesting for people listening to
Maybe.
this,
We're
hearing my little, like, connections that I make in my mind. Yeah.
It's Emily Blunt and Benicio del Toro, Josh Brolin. You would know these people if you saw them.
Yeah, I would.
I hear it's very good. I hear the sequel's also good. Actually, that's Denis Villeneuve.
There you go.
From Arrival.
Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, I like the series. I hear the movie's terrible, but I like to watch it as my own.
Well, because you're like, you love
I like the
video
movies.
games.
I mean, the video games. And I'd like to watch the movie.
Which one is it about?
I think it's more towards the Italian ones. I haven't seen it.
That's what it looks like. Secret Templar Society Radio.
I hear it's bad. The Ocean's movies, I
Do you
haven't
think
seen a lot of them.
Okay. Maybe... Wait, is this the list? What list is this?
This is my watch list that I made like a year ago.
Okay, because I started watching Ocean's 8 and I fucking love it. And you're going to say you're biased, and I probably am because I love all those movies.
I would like to go through the series again because I watched it when it first came out in like 2002. When the first one came out, 2001. So it's been a while. I'd like to go 11, 12, 13, 8. Just because I am the kind of person who likes to watch an entire series, even if it's shit.
Oceans 11 and 13 are the better of the original trilogy. I really liked Oceans 8 because...
Have you seen the whole thing? We'll have to make a note.
No, that was another one that I missed the end because I was on the airplane. And,
one of those airplane movies. I quite like the first one, Oceans 11.
I really like that because it's got Brad Pitt with big tattoos and yum.
Does he have tattoos in that?
He's got big arm tat, like a full sleeve, really gross tribal thing. But
see, I would say that's kind of
he's got the hair that he has in
Fight Club.
Yeah, I fucking loved his hair at that point. It's
very 2000.
Yeah, and he's wearing the big glasses like he did in Fight Club too. That was his thing. He looks very much the same. He looks very much still like Tyler Durden. Yeah. He's Rusty, what's his name in that movie?
Rusty, what's his name?
Yeah.
Prisoners? Prisoners is on my list. I hear it's very good. I don't know a thing about it.
I didn't get to talk about Ocean's 8.
You said it was very good and you'd like to watch it again.
Yeah, but I wanted, I liked it because I feel like it perfectly embodied the same feel as the other ones, but it was an entirely new cast, and they were women.
Well, that's the idea.
Yeah, but
Again,
I mean,
they're doing reboots for people like you.
No, I know, but the thing is, I thought it was still quite an accomplishment that they were able to do that with none of the original cast.
I think Clooney and Soderbergh both worked on it, the original director.
Like, I don't think
they worked on it.
I don't think it's even got Julia Roberts in it.
Which is surprising, because it's got such a big female leads.
It might do, but I don't remember.
I don't think it does.
I don't know that it does. The only person I saw who's in it is what's his name? The old Jew.
Oh, Jesus, I don't know.
The guy who funds all their stuff. I forget what his name is in the movie, and I forget what his name is in real life. That guy. The rich guy.
Is it...
it's the guy who plays Mr. Geller.
Yeah, the Geller's dad.
Yeah.
I remember him from the first one. He had his fat, hairy gut hanging out, and that's all I remember from him. He was wearing a dirty robe. Yeah, Prisoners is on my list as well. I hear it's very good. I don't know a thing about it. It's another Denis Villeneuve.
He did Arrival, right?
Huh?
He did Arrival,
yes.
right? Okay.
Hugh Jackman, Jake Gyllenhaal, Viola Davis. Here it's good. I haven't seen it.
Viola Davis is kind of a different duck. She's a great actress, but she's kind of like a Johnny Depp almost. You know how
That's not good.
But you know what I mean? Like how he's
got his
really
own character in real life.
Yeah.
He's just like...
Well, she's a little bit antisocial.
I haven't seen much of her stuff. Or her in person.
I want to finish. See, again, all these movies I was watching on the frickin' airplane and I didn't get to finish. Lady Bird was another one. I had like 10 minutes left. I was so pissed and I haven't finished it yet. I quite liked it.
Not good enough to do an honorable mention?
Let's watch it together and see.
7.4. That's not bad. It's rated R. Is it pretty full on?
I don't remember. I don't think so. I think there's just a lot of swearing and stuff in it. I think there's a sex scene in it.
I would really like to watch Primal Fear. I hear that's a classic.
Oh my god, yeah, it's so good.
Do you think that's worth doing an honorable mention?
Yes.
Yeah?
It's so good.
Up yes.
Yeah. No, it's so good.
Richard Gere, Edward Norton, Laura Linney.
I forgot that was Edward Norton. He's so good. They're both so good.
I really like him, particularly from this period. This is the year before.
Plus, again, Richard Gere from that time period was on my old hot guy list.
Hot guy list.
Yeah.
Now he's really old.
Yeah. The Post. What was that about? You keep talking about The Post.
I haven't spoken about it. It's Tom Hanks and Meryl Streep in a Spielberg movie.
Oh, that's right.
I think it's based on a true story.
That's new, isn't it?
Ish.
You mentioned it. That's why it's in my head.
2017.
You mentioned it in the past
hear
episode.
It's okay. It's not Spielberg's
greatest.
Like you hear those three and you're like, holy shit. But then it's like, whatever.
It's not bad, but it's not great.
Yeah. I'd like to watch Rabbit Proof Fence with you.
I think that's an important one to watch. And I think it's going to be really interesting because that's Australiana.
Yes.
So that's not going to be big in Hollywood. So I think that's going to be good to watch.
And yet it had Kenneth Branagh in it.
Who's that?
Okay, keep going back to Harry Potter because everyone's in Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Gilderoy Lockhart.
Oh, radio.
He's a big Shakespearean actor.
Is he Australian?
No, he's English.
Okay.
But he did The Murder on the Orient Express, the new one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
He's in that Will Smith movie from '99, Wild Wild West.
That's weird.
Have you ever seen that?
No.
He's got a very good southern accent and no legs. It's a very weird performance from... He has a weird career.
Yeah.
I think he directed the first Thor movie. It's just like... He's
That's
in
bizarre.
random things.
Yeah. Some people are like that. They're like chameleons. It's like Samuel L. Jackson.
He's not a chameleon.
No, he's just in everything.
He plays Samuel Jackson in everything. Gary Oldman's a chameleon.
Yeah.
And I've also got the new Fantastic Beasts because even though it's probably horse shit, I would like to see it for context.
I am boycotting these
6.7.
movies just because I'm like, you're milking a thing that doesn't need to be milked.
Just wait till the next 3 come out because that's how many they've planned so far, and then maybe we'll watch.
I just shot my head for those of you who missed that. But like, I just don't want them to. Why do you have to go wreck a good thing?
Money and money.
Yeah, but that's what Disney does, and they're going down the shitter, so whatever.
Well, not according to their bank statements.
Well, but the quality of their stuff, because people are stupid.
Marvel is getting slightly better, but that's a different reason for that.
Yeah. The Disaster Artist, I'm willing to watch it. I think it's going to be a pain in the ass.
Why?
I just think it's going to be boring. I don't think it's going to be interesting.
Maybe, but I want to watch it for their performances.
I was going to say for Franco's performance. That's the only reason I really want to watch it, too.
Well, Franco's dynamic, because he's got his brother there.
I was just going to say there's both of them in there,
Alison Brie.
I like Seth Rogen.
Yeah?
And I like
Franco.
I like their stoner movies that they're in, like Pineapple Express and Knocked Up and stuff. I don't mind those movies. They're just stupid. Yeah, they're just stupid. I like them. I never thought I would like Seth Rogen. I thought I would fucking hate Seth Rogen, and I actually quite like his stuff.
He's fine.
He's actually quite a cool guy, like in real life, from what I've seen of interviews and stuff. Like I think he'd be kind of like awkward and a little bit annoying, but I wouldn't mind like spending an afternoon.
See, I feel like
with him,
James Franco's kind of a more awkward guy in real life.
Yeah, but he's smart as hell, so it kind of makes up for it.
That's probably why he's an awkward guy, though.
Yeah. He's really yummy, too. Both the Franco
brothers
are really delicious. Well, in their prime, they were really delicious. Like young Charlie Sheen. Have you seen how gorgeous he was?
Like in Platoon? Yeah, I wouldn't... I don't know. I wouldn't put him as gorgeous. I think there was other people. Like the whole Channing Tatum and Richard Gere thing I can get behind. Charlie Sheen,
When he was young, he was delicious.
Okay.
He didn't age well, I'll give you that. But when he was...
Because he was on fucking drugs and shit all the time.
When he was in his 20s, he was yummy. Yum.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Oh, fuck. Well, thanks for tuning in. We've been Brenton and Danielle, and that's our story, and that's what we're sticking to. And tune in next week for whatever it is we're talking about. I don't know.
Are you drunk?
No.
You can tell me if you are.
I had something better to say.